guys, get inside, please.
On the journey. So the entire pavilion is about journey, circularity and sustainability. Prominently the dune of sand which came from the escalators. So the dunes wanted to recall the American landscape. They wanted to tell how our journey started from Dubai. Right now we are entering Italy, which is represented by this pavilion. And the entire pavilion is covered with 70 kilometers of nautical codes that all made with recycled plastic. We recycled 2 million of plastic bottles to do these codes. So at one hand we have the idea of circularity, using waste material to create something new. Another hand we have the idea of sea. Italy is a land of sea. We started with trade from there, started growing economically from there. And this idea of sea also returns with the 3 upside down boats we have over our heads. The 3 boats, you can see it better from afar. They recall the colors of the Italian flag, and that will also be the biggest Italian flag in our history. So going on from here.
Let's go, guys.
And opposite to us, we have the red one. So that's how we have all the 3 colors of the Italian flag. So here we are on the highest point in our pavilion, and we start with this installation that's about the journey toward time. We have the ancient way of measuring the time, and the newest one. We have an hourglass and we have an atomic clock. So this is the most precise atomic clock ever built. It has 1 second of error margin every 3 million of years. So this is real sized, and it was built by Leonardo, which is an Italian company, and it's already being used in 26 satellites. So this installation is about how there is no innovation without tradition. That's why you have both of them here. And here you can also see the sentence, the perfect time. Not just because it's the perfect clock, but also because now it's the perfect time to start a journey through the pavilion. So walking through this walkway, which is covered with orange paste, and this is covered with coffee ground byproducts. We have another time the idea of circularity. And here we can start seeing some other installations. For example, this Bulgari one, it has 50 light points in 7 rows. So the 7 rows are to recall the 7 saints of the United Arab Emirates, and the 50 light points are to celebrate the Golden Jubilee, which is the 50th anniversary of the saint, which was a few days ago, right? And here we can start seeing some nets. So this net wants to recall our claim, which is beauty connects people, and we wanted to tell how with art, with the beauty of art, we wanted to connect the people that come visiting our pavilion. And from this corner, I can start seeing some numbers. So these numbers are part of the Fibonacci sequence. Have you already heard about Fibonacci? So Fibonacci was this mathematician, and he discovered a perfect sequence that keeps repeating itself in nature. You can find this sequence anywhere in biology. You can find it in the animals, you can find it in the plants. So that's how we have another time, the idea of circularity inside the pavilion. And here you can start seeing some green water. So people always ask me, why is the water green? Did you put some paint in it? So we didn't put any kind of paint in it. We're just growing a microalgae, which is the alga spirulina, and our biologists right in this lab, they take care of it. So we are growing the microalgae here because downstairs we have the Bulgari restaurant that's producing a lot of carbon dioxide. And part of it is being filtered and converted in oxygen. And the bubbles and the foam that you can see are because of that process. So we are using the algae and not any other plant, because all the plants can do this, right, this process of converting. But the plant, this algae has such a low impact on the environment. and they convert double the amount of the carbon dioxide that a normal plant can do. So this red water is also really similar to the alga spirulina. This is the hematococus. It's doing the same thing as the alga spirulina, but we just started the cultivation. That's why we can see smaller spots of the algae. And here we have, in the middle of this course, we have this structure here, that's the Belvedere, which means the beautiful view. And that's because inside you can see some of the landscape from the Bel Paese, the beautiful country, which is another name Italy is called with. And the outside structure is all made with this technique called drywall, so which means there's no cement in between. So think about that, 270 years old man from Sicily that never went outside the island. They came here in Dubai and they made the entire drywall in 2 weeks. That's quite impressive, isn't it?
Wow.
Which is a region. So welcome inside the Belvedere, and here you can see some of the clips, the Ostroini filmmaker that David Salvatore made about Italian landscape. So right now you can see Marte, which is a region in Italy, and the filmmaker wanted to portray all the different characters, all the different regions, and he wanted to portray like this the idea of journey. I cannot make these journeys ourselves, but you can make it smarter eyes and imagination. And this idea of journey also returns with the sprinkles we have on our face. So these sprinkles want to celebrate the big travelers that Italy has, but also the big travelers the Arab countries have. That the windows was designed by an Arab traveler, and it also wants to record the main journeys with its smarter eyes. Love is all about these journeys, right? So once we go outside the Belvedere, you can see another clip from the same filmmaker that's about the Italian craftsmanship, and then you can see everyday people doing their everyday job. So here you go. This part is dedicated to temporary installation, and every 15 days we change this part and we try to showcase a different craftsmanship from a different region in Italy. So right now this is dedicated to Campania, which is a region in southern Italy, which is the region Naples is in, Napoli. So here we can see these beautiful clothes, these beautiful silks. Some of them are from the 18th and 19th century, and we also have the costumes from the 18th and the 19th century. We have the pottery and from that age as well, the ceramics, and then we have the newest part of the fashion, which is the menswear. We can see the menswear, Italian menswear is also considered one of the finest ones, right? So here we also have the use of corals and fishes to do accessories, to do jewelry and pottery as well. And from this part of Italy, which is already known of, right? When you think about Italy, we think about art, we think about food and fashion, but you don't think about the scientific part. But Italy is doing a lot of research, also in the scientific and technological areas, especially in the theme of water and space, always paying a lot of attention to the sustainability part of it. So here in this space, this is the innovation space, and here we can see some of the latest project Italy has worked on. So here we can see the Martian drill that can drill up to 2 meters under the Martian ground to find water, and 2 meters is because that's the ideal depth to have water and life on the surface. So as for now, only 7 centimeters of the Marshall Grant has been drilled. So when this one gets to space with the 2022 project, it will be a new rocket. So this is real sized and is so small because it needs to enter the machine that will go around Mars to find water. And this was also built by Leonardo, which is the same company that has built the atomic clock at the beginning and has built this 1-to-1 scale of the engine block and the propeller of the Type Tractor aircraft that intertwines the flexibility of a helicopter with the speed of an aircraft, because it can take off and land vertically just like a helicopter does. And then we have the model of the launcher Vega C from Argo, which is done with the budget of the European Space Agency. 65% of the project was financed by Italy. So this of course is not real sized, but a real model weighs a lot less than the previous ones, so it can carry a lot more weight as well. And this way we have our vegetable garden. So here we can see 180 plants that you can normally see in any typical vegetable garden from Italy, and they are all being monitored by these blue sensors here that collectively data about how the plants are doing, how much water they need, how the ground is doing. So right now they are going in a really different environment from where they come from. The weather is so different, there is so much humidity. The ground is also different because it's mixed with sand, so unlike the Italian one. So we wanted to see which plant can actually survive, which plant can adapt. So we have the tomatoes that are doing great, but then we have the salads that keep dying, we keep planting them, and they keep dying anyways. And then we also want to study the entire life cycle of the plant to see where to intervene to make them live longer, even in an environment like this one. And then we have this underground plumbing system that gives the plant just the right amount of water they need, so that we can save 20% of the water usage. So when you're thinking about such a small garden, 20% is not much, but think about large plants, 20% of water means a lot of water, right? So because water is such a precious good, we need to start somewhere, saving it. And then we have the vertical bar installation here. So this recalls the Monastero Santa Chiara from Naples, and the Monastero Santa Chiara is the symbol of rebirth because it was destroyed during World War II and then it was rebuilt after the war. So that's why it represents rebirth, and everything is hand painted by Sicilian artisans. And then we have this structure here. This is the theater of memory. So this white structure wants to recall the Roman mythology of Memoria, the goddess of memory, and wants to tell how there is no art or science without memory. So that's why we have inside the reproduction of Michelangelo's David, which is entirely made with 3D technology. It's made in resin and then covered with Carrara product. So there you go. So this sculpture is actually the largest thing ever made with this 3D technology, and it's so identical to the original one. You can also see the bumps and the cracks the original one has. Humans ago, when you could see the David eyes, so
Welcome to the part 2 of my Italy
that's because
pavilion.
of the machine that Michelangelo used to do the sculpture, but there is this other really beautiful interpretation about why he has them. They say it's because the David didn't win against his enemies only thanks to his physical strength, but also thanks to his passion and love for God, because the David is biblical character. And all around us we have 2.5 million pieces of mosaics. They're all made in glass and they have gold leaves inside. So they recall the Saladera Romani in color, and they are all headquartered by the artisan called cities that specializes in mosaics. And here we are on the last part of our journey. From here we start this sensorial path where the white furnace will absorb all the sound from the outside. So these white furnaces were originally designed for the orchestras, and right now they are also being used in the hospitals for the intensive care, where the patient needs complete silence to recover. So this white furnace wants to give us a moment to reflect about what you have heard and seen without all the noises, because we are in a really nice place, visually and acoustically. And in this silence we also have this perfume of Acqua di Parma. Acqua di Parma tried to recreate some of the typical smells from Italy. So we had the lemons from southern Italy, we had the myrrh, which is a kind of flower, and right now we have the fig, which is a kind of fruit. So with this invitation we end our journey. If there is any question, I thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed the pavilion.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Wala naman ko dyan, hanig ko rin doon.